Now here's a thing, now it may be surprising to some of you that I'm interested in this, but this is an original interior lamp as used on the Gilban. And I thought, well, I might as well reuse it, to be honest, because yeah, it keeps some kind of originality, is nice. But I was looking at it and looking at this switch on the side, and what does that do? Now most cars, if you turn the switch, you would be able to turn the interior light on without the doors being open. But looking at it, all it does is join the switch handle, as it were, goes onto the bottom of the tag which has the bulb on it, and that is also the part that's got the incoming wire. So yes, when you turn the switch to the on position, that wire is connected to that, and then this goes to earth. So it seems to me that the only thing that the switch can be used for, if you switch it the other way, is disconnecting the switch so the interior light doesn't come on when the door is opened. And thought, well, what's the use of that? If you want to look at a map or anything in the back of the car or anything like that, what you want is a thing, without the doors being open, what you want is a thing to switch the light on, even though the door isn't open. And I have had a long think about this and I've come up with the only possible solution I can think of. Actually, I'll go and fetch my drawing. So this appears to be the way the thing works. There's a switch in the door pillar, which is the door open switch. The wire comes through, it reaches this little riveted thing, which is a switch which has the permanent connection for the incoming wire, so that goes in there. So now we have our second switch. So this is door switch, and this is the light switch, and then we have the filament, and then we have earth, and that's basically it. That's how the light works. And as I said, that's not the way I'd like it to work. So having thought about this at some length, actually, I've decided the only way that I can make this have a function of being on when the door is shut is to change the mechanism a bit, and it requires an extra wire to be soldered on. So I think the way it needs to be, so rather than this is now, what it needs to be, if I can draw this without getting it wrong while I'm drawing it live, there needs to be an extra connection. So there needs to be two feeds. Oh, this is 12 volts up here, by the way. So there needs to be two 12 volt feeds, one of which goes through the door switch and one doesn't. So that's the door switch. Make these little drawings a little bit nicer. And one doesn't. So that's the door. And this one needs to go to the filament. And the other one needs to go via this special switch. So this one goes to the filament like that. So far, so exactly the same. But the other switch needs to go separately to 12 volts. So that's what we need. A switch here. So this is 12 volts, and this is also 12 volts, and that's earth. In order to have two wires going to the filament, one of which goes to the switch and one which doesn't, the only way I can see to do that, to bypass this mechanism, thereby providing the door open function, I need to solder a wire on just here, and that will be the door sensing connection, and this one will be permanent, which you can then switch on and off. So that's what I'm going to do now, and because this is kind of copper, or at least brass, hopefully that's not going to be too difficult to do, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I've got a piece of suitable wire, just any old stuff really. I'm going to take the bulb out. Take the bulb out so I can get at it more easily. Now, will I be able to solder onto this? I'm going to put it into the vise actually. Hold it still. Don't want to crush it. There we go. Let's see. Now this is quite fluxy solder, so it may oh, there we go. Okay, so I've got a soldered joint. I'll tin the end of this. And put it on here as neatly as possible. Right, now we have our extra connection that bypasses that switch. It goes direct to the bulb holder, which I shall stick back in. Hopefully it's not become too stiff. Just there we go. Yeah, so there we have an extra connection going direct to the bulb. Earth is still earth, but this wire here, anything coming via that terminal, is either disconnected as it is here or connected. So this will be the one you turn the switch, and this 12 volt feed here, which obviously is already a terminal, will provide the supply that enables you to have the lights on with the doors shut. So all I need to do now is connect all this up together, and hopefully it will work. There, so I've put a little, it's actually a miniature spade clip on the end of this new soldered on connection, so that I can actually plug this thing in rather than having to pull all the wiring out or have to solder onto it or something every time I want to do something. So I just need to feed that back through the little opening in the plate there, and now I can connect up to the back of it. So I've got 1, 2, 3 connections to put on, and we should be good. And so here we have it. Interior lights. And interior light. Lovely. If you got as far as this, thanks very much for watching. And in case you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. That would be really encouraging for me. So catch you on the next one.